For the first 2 years out here, my wood storage solution has been a combination of the round Holzhausen you see behind me, and then just some other wood stacks that I've been putting around as I've been cutting trees down. And then my management solution throughout the winter as I needed to burn it was just to haul it inside, maybe a day or two's worth of wood at a time as needed. And that is fine, it's totally sustainable. But it's not really what I would call the sweet spot that I've been looking for. At this point in my adventure out here, what I'm trying to do is kind of really optimize my relationship with these survival resources, right? Like I need this wood to burn to have heat. And what I want to do is have a good direct connection with it. But I would like to be able to kind of reduce, let's just say, the management overhead. You know, dealing with all the snow management of the Holzhausen and having to haul stuff in so far and stuff. I'd like to reduce that while still being able to get my hands on the wood, put it in, feel the heat of it. In service of finding that sweet spot, I came up with a plan, which is to build a set of stackable boxes that I can put the firewood in. And then when I need to have firewood, I'll just grab one of those boxes with my neighbor's tractor, bring it over closer to my house, and that'll be my immediate supply until it runs out, and then I can just exchange it for another box. I'm treating this like an experiment because while I do have a design for the boxes, which I can talk about later, I'm not 100% sure that this is actually gonna work, but I do wanna give it a try. Before I start building the boxes, the very first step is going to be clearing a spot to be able to stack them, and it has to be level and solid enough that I can stack them a couple high. I did some searching around the property. It took me a while to pick a spot, but eventually I decided that right behind the second parking spot in my driveway, there's a little bit of an area that's almost already level, and I can just sort of extend that and create an area where I can put those boxes. To get this area prepped, I'm gonna need to cut down some small trees and then bring the mini excavator in and level the ground out and pack it down a little bit. And then I'll finish it off with some road pack, the same kind I used under the bow roof shed, just to firm up the ground there so the boxes have a nice stable place to sit. Since I started this project, the black flies have come out in full force. So this will be my guard for the next few weeks to prevent myself from getting eaten alive. I've made good progress on clearing the area that I'm going to be putting my movable boxes for my firewood storage. There's still one oak tree in the way that I need to fell. Now in the past, when I have had a tree like this to bring down that doesn't look like it's going to naturally fall in the direction that I want, I've used a rope and a come-along to tension the tree and to control the fall that way. But I'd like to try something different this time. I have a mini excavator now, and it should be possible, if I cut the tree and leave a nice fat hinge so I can control the fall, to just take the mini excavator bucket and push the tree over. I'm a little nervous to try it. I guess there's probably some ways it could go wrong, but I consulted with a friend and he has me feeling like I could probably do it as long as I don't do anything stupid, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Now that I've got the trees and leaves and other loose matter cleared from the new wood storage area, it's time to start leveling it out. I'll need a spot about 18 feet wide by 16 feet deep in order to fit the number of boxes I plan on building. Now, back when I built the bow roof shed, I had to level that ground too, and I made the mistake of leveling it by digging from the high side and putting that dirt on the low side. And while that did create level ground, it also created a lot of drainage problems. So I'm going to take a different approach here. Instead, I'm going to steal some dirt from around the property where I don't need it and use that to build up the low side. That way, when I put the road pack down, I'll have in effect a slightly raised platform, and any water that comes down the slope will just go around that. And then finally, I've got some parking spots right here where I'm building this wood storage area, and they've been getting a little wetter than I would like, and so I'm going to also do some shallow trenching just behind them to kind of direct any water that's been getting down into the main drainage trench by the road. Sooner or later, I was going to run into a bigger problem with the mini excavator. And that happened just about 5 minutes ago, where I threw my first track. Now, I don't think throwing a track is actually that big of a deal, but I've never had to deal with it before, so it kind of feels like a big deal to me. So I'm going to pause here and regroup, watch a few YouTube videos, phone a friend, see if I can figure out an easy way to do this so I don't hurt the machine or myself.